Hey everyone, and welcome back to your English fluency lesson. Now, today we are going to do lesson number 9, level 2, which is all about expressing your opinions. How do you feel about something and telling other people what you think? Okay, so let's take a look at our very first sentence, which is I think this movie is great. I think this movie is great. Now, how do we blend this nice and smooth? Well, first, let's start with this. I, I, I think this. I think this. Did you see how the K kind of disappears? I think it's right there, right? I think, but we're going to erase the K to make the this sound easier. If we take away the K, it becomes more of an ing sound. I think this. Look at my tongue, right? I think if I do the ing sound, my tongue is right there, just to tap that T. I think this, I think this. But if I did K, I think this. That's an extra thing I have to do, so it's harder. So we're gonna remove the K, go ing, and then tap for that T. I think this movie. I think this movie. I think this movie, what? Is great. Is great. Is great. Just let it touch. Don't really blend it together, but come super close, right? I think this movie is great. I think this movie is great. So repeat after me. I think this movie is great. Hmm, I do. What did you think of the movie? Oh, I think this movie is great. Or we could change it. I think this car is bad. I think this food is good. See how we can change the subject and how we feel? Real easy. The sentence pattern is what really matters. The content can be changed for any situation. Remember that. Every sentence we learn in this course is a pattern that can be changed to fit any situation. So if you think about it, after you finish all these different levels, you'll have maybe, I think there's 125 sentences, like 125 lessons. But if you look at the actual sentences, they just get bigger. So the patterns are really simple, and these are everyday sentences. These are sentences used in everyday conversations. So if you learn all of these patterns, you are doing great, okay? Let's move on to our second sentence, which is, in my opinion, this restaurant is the best. Okay. How do we smooth this out? Because this is a very specific answer. So the way we say it matters, right? So let's start with the first part, behind the comma. In my opinion. How do we smooth it? In my yo, in my opinion. In my opinion. In my. So my goes up in volume because we're saying whose, right? In my opinion, in my opinion, in my opinion, what? This restaurant. We're going to emphasize the word this because it's so specific. We're talking about this one, and we want to emphasize that word. So, in my opinion, this restaurant, this restaurant, this one right here, this car, this thing, awesome. This restaurant, restaurant, this restaurant is the best, is the best. We can blend all that, right? But we're emphasizing this restaurant. In my, we're emphasizing my, this restaurant, okay? Those are the big words that are going to jump out. So, in my opinion, this restaurant is the best. We sound like we have put real feeling and thought into this. I have invested myself and I have tested this restaurant. I know you can trust me. I know it is the best. See? By changing our volumes on these specific words, we change the meaning and attach ourselves to the feelings this sentence represents. So, all right, you understand, you're smart. Repeat after me, right? In my opinion, this restaurant is the best. In my opinion, this restaurant is the best. In my opinion, this book is the best. In my opinion, that store is the worst. In my opinion, uh, in my opinion, that airline is terrible. So we can change our subject and we can change how we feel or our opinion on it. Same pattern, same sentence, easy, easy. Let's go to sentence number 3, which is, I don't agree with that. Now we're expressing a negative opinion. I don't agree with not you. We're talking about that thing we are discussing or that thing we are referencing or talking about. Okay. So it's important to understand what this sentence is talking about. Okay. It's not, I disagree with you. I disagree with that, because our tone would change. Since we're talking about a thing or an object, we can be harsher, stronger worded. But when we talk about a person, we don't want to be harsh and strong. We want to change volumes and levels and the way we say things. So this is about a thing, okay? Let's smooth this out. I don't agree. The T is gone, right? I don't agree. I don't agree, because the more important thing is that, right? I don't agree with that. We're going to emphasize with and that, right? I don't agree. Negative. We know it's a negative. I don't. Okay. Negative. Simple. Now, the key thing is the subject with that. So we're going to emphasize that part. I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Not you. Because if I changed it to you, it would have different feeling. Watch. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with you. See how the tone changed? It's not so confrontational. I don't agree with you. Oh, I'm angry, right? The way we say things matters, especially when we're talking about a person or to a person. But a thing, we can just express it without too much fear. I don't agree with that. And you have a facial reaction if it's terrible, like it's an obvious terrible. So repeat after me. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. We could emphasize the don't if it's like a heated conversation. I don't agree with that, right? Like Italian way of speaking, maybe. Like, I don't agree with that. Ah, you know, we can emphasize the don't if we want, but it could just be smooth. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. See how each way I said it had a different meaning? You can feel more based on the tone and the quality of what I said. So be careful. The way you say things in English matters more than your grammar. I will say that all the time, okay? More important is the tone and how you say it, not what you said or the missing words. Grammar's not important. I keep saying that. Let's move on to sentence number 4, which is, I believe this is a good idea. Okay. I believe something. Okay. So I believe this thing is the important thing. So let's smooth this out and put the emphasis where it belongs. I believe this. I believe this. I believe this. Our tone is going up. Our volume's going up, right? I believe this is a good idea. Is is a g, is a good. Tone going up because we believe it's good, so our tone should go up on good things. I believe this is a good idea, is a good idea, tone going up. I believe this is a good idea. Yeah. Should we have ice cream? I believe this is a good idea. See? It's positive. I agree. Yeah, let's go. So tone matters, volume matters. It creates different meaning, right? So repeat after me. I believe this is a good idea. Should we get cookies and ice cream? I believe this is a good idea. Right? You know I want the cookies. You know I want the ice cream. You believe me. We could do the opposite. We could say this is a negative thing. Like maybe it's a bad idea, right? We should have we should have bitter gourd and eggs. I believe this is a bad idea. I believe this, tone down, is a bad, tone down, idea, tone down. I believe this is a bad idea. I really don't like bitter gourd, but it's so popular here in China. I want to like it. I want to be healthy, but it tastes terrible. you know? If you like it, let me know. How am I supposed to eat this? But if you don't like it, solidarity. I am with you. We're on the same team. Now let's take a look at our fifth sentence, which is, I'm not sure about that. Yet again, we're talking about an idea or a concept. We're not talking about you. So we can change our tone and be a little bit harder on this one. So let's smooth this out and make it really nice. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So we're going to tone down to show it's a negative. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about. I'm not sure about. Okay. I'm not sure about that. About that. Two T's, toss one, right? I'm not sure about that. It's all one sound, right? I'm not sure about that. It's all one word now. We took all of those words and smushed it together, right? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. So let's put our tone in to make it sound like something, right? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. So repeat after me. I'm not sure about that. You should look confused, right? I'm not sure about that. Hmm. Do you think this is a good idea? I'm not sure about that, right? So our tone is going to be down on this thing. Now, could we change this to be a positive? Yeah, but we have to change the sentence, right? Because I'm not sure about that. It doesn't quite make sense if we just take away the not. I'm sure about that. It does make sense. Okay, it does. I think if you were really sure about something, you wouldn't phrase it this way. You would say something like, I'm positive about that. You wouldn't say, I'm sure about that. It sounds not genuine, right? We would say, I'm positive about that. I'm not sure about that. I'm positive about that. Tones up, right? I'm positive about that. I'm not sure about that. Cool. Let's take a look at our sixth sentence, which is, I strongly believe this is the right decision. Oh, so we have to say it strongly, not loud. We have to say it forcefully. So watch how I do this. Ready? I strong, my volume's going up. Ready? I strongly believe. We are emphasizing the sounds in the word, not the word. I strongly believe. I strongly believe. I strongly believe what? This. We emphasize the thing again, right? I strongly believe this, what, is the right decision. Ooh, it speeds up, doesn't it, right? Because We're showing the strength of what we think here, and then we're smoothing it out here. So I strongly believe this, connect that S to the is. This is the right decision. This is the right decision. I strongly believe this is the right decision. How do you feel? I strongly believe this is the right decision. Repeat after me. I strongly believe this is the right decision. I strongly believe this is the right decision. You can feel my emotion. You can hear the volume change of my emotion. I am invested in this idea, this thing, this opinion. It represents me strongly. So I'm putting strength into the way I say these words, right? I strongly believe this is the wrong decision. Wrong, down. I strongly believe this is the wrong decision. Change it from decision to choice. I strongly believe this is the right to choice. The right to choice. I messed that up. I strongly believe this is the right choice. I'm optimistic about it. I strongly believe this is the right choice. Now I'm pessimistic. I'm negative. I strongly believe this is the wrong choice. Hmm. I strongly believe it is the right choice that you let me know how you thought of this lesson. Ah? Hopefully, this lesson was easy to understand, and I hope that you could hear the difference in how we change the emotion behind these opinions. Opinions are emotional statements, so you have to add in emotion to the way you say them. This is how people understand that you believe your opinion. Now, I will see you for the next lesson, which is lesson number 10, all about giving reasons and explanations. Basically, giving excuses for why something happened. Super useful. Now, I'll see you for that lesson. Goodbye.